Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Outside the Box Score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse, right here on the Score 1260. We've got a lot of things to talk about today. Phone lines open the entirety of the show, 315-671-1260. If you want to chime in, got a big SU football game today. We'll talk about that in a little bit. The 4-0 Orange taking on Clemson here at the JMA Wireless Dome. That's a noon kickoff. But I want to kick off the show talking about some golf because it is Ryder Cup weekend. And, people who are out there listening to the show know I'm a golfer. I'm an avid golf fan, have been pretty much my entire life. And this is embarrassing.
Well, yeah, pretty much, yes.
It's now, right now, we are currently watching the 4-ball session of day 2 here in the studio. Tommy Fleetwood just nailing a putt right in the heart to have that hole in his match. Fleetwood and Nikolai Hogard taking on Max Homa and Brian Harmon. And Homa and Harmon are 3 up. USA already won the first match 4-3. So got another point on the board. We're down 9.5 to 3.5. Europe 2 up in the third match, and the fourth match is tied. It's already, before we even get to singles tomorrow, and we'll see what those matches end up looking like. I think we're going to see probably Rory against probably Scheffler.
Yep.
If I had to guess, we'll see. Maybe Cantlay. Zach Johnson is in the conversation for the worst Ryder Cup captain we've ever had.
Undoubtedly.
Just horrific mismanagement of how to run a Ryder Cup team. Like, I think back to yesterday when I woke up at 4:45 in the morning to watch the Ryder Cup. And I notice that Brooks Koepka
That's right.
isn't playing in the morning session.
Yeah.
Koepka goes on in the afternoon to play quite well because he's Brooks Koepka. And I don't know if it's just some boys club thing with Zach Johnson saying, I'm going to sit you in the morning because you're the live guy. And I want the PGA guys out there. I don't know what the thought process was behind it. I was talking to a couple of people at Bellevue Country Club yesterday, and they discussed maybe Zach Johnson went out there in the morning session and said, listen, this isn't our strong suit, so let's wait until we get to 4 balls in the afternoon, which is the best ball portion for people that don't know. Morning was alternate shot.
Yep.
So when we get to the best ball portion, that's where our strong suit is. We'll win there. So maybe we're kind of punting the morning session.
Well, they punted it.
Well, they certainly punted it. They lost every match. They were down 4-0 going into the afternoon session.
There was a real fear that they were going to lose every single match yesterday.
Yeah.
They nearly did.
Didn't win a match.
Right. Yeah.
Have 3 of them.
Yeah.
So if that was the thought process, that is the worst thought process a Ryder Cup captain has ever had.
Give him 4. We'll move on.
Like, I don't think he wanted to give him 4, but if he looked at it as it's not the end of the world if we finish down 3-1.
Yeah.
Why not? Why is that not the end of the world?
Momentum is such a big thing in these types of things. And, by the time the afternoon guys got out, so you brought up Brooks, which hard to defend Brooks after today. I mean, he was walking off after the 11th, 12th hole today. I mean, they got
it was 9-7, I think. It was ridiculous.
It was pretty bad. But, if that was the mindset, I don't know how you want to start like that.
Yeah.
Today, it's huge coming into the afternoon. If they can take 3 here, it'd be okay. 4 is massive.
4 is huge.
4, you're right back in it.
But
to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're in it if they take 3.
Yeah.
And like I said, we've already taken 1. We're 3 up in another match. So, and they're on the 15th hole.
Yep.
So essentially dormy.
Yep.
Worst that can happen is that match is a halve.
Yep.
So, all right, you're going to take 2 minimum. One of them's tied,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one, Europe's 2 up through 13 holes.
Yep.
So very winnable. There's a chance we take all 4 here, and all of a sudden it's 9.5 to 7.5, which is or 6.5, which is doable.
Right.
And going into singles, anything can happen in singles. We know that, especially on Europe's side. I mean, we were talking earlier about how Ian Poulter has never lost a singles match. That guy could have played Tiger Woods in 2000 and still beat him somehow.
Dude was Thanos out there.
Yeah.
He's inevitable. That's what it was.
He was inevitable, really.
Yeah.
It's kind of embarrassing. And this is by no means the greatest team ever assembled.
Mm-hmm.
No disrespect to Wyndham Clark or Brian Harmon. These are Sam Burns. Outside of Burns, these are major winners. Harmon won the Claret Jug. Wyndham won the U.S. Open. So absolutely no disrespect at all to them, especially Brian Harmon. Shout out, some local ties there. His wife went to West Hill High School. He's spent a lot of time in this area.
Mm-hmm.
So no disrespect at all, but it's just these aren't the types of guys, and they automatically qualified, so there's nothing you can do about it, where I don't think a captain would pick them.
Right.
Like, if they didn't qualify, even if they had won majors, I don't know if Wyndham Clark and Brian Harmon get picked.
Well, we talked about it earlier because we were discussing the captain's picks and the mindset of it, because you pick a guy like JT, and that is a clear vibes pick, experience, whatever.
I was, I think, the only person that liked the JT pick. Everyone else hated it. I was very pro JT being on the team just because he's the best Ryder Cup player we have.
Yeah, well, yes. Yeah, probably.
And right now, I'm not saying of all time or anything, but right now, out of the group that was eligible for captain's picks, JT is the most successful just match play guy we have.
There's a guy that went 5-0 last time, and he's sitting watching him from the couch.
Well, that's fair. I just mean over the,
No, I know.
DJ's had some blow-ups in the Ryder Cup in the past. Justin Thomas has always been a steady guy, including the President's Cup. I think he's like 15-3-1 all time coming into this in team competitions. Like, that's a really good record.
Yeah.
And so in my opinion, he needed to be on the team because especially, and I know Spieth is playing horrible right now.
Yeah.
So this isn't me defending Jordan Spieth. Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth have never lost a 4-balls match as a team.
They're down 2 right now.
Yeah, they're down 2 right now, but they've never lost one coming into this.
Yep.
They're best friends. They play so well together. And that's just the type of thing that Team USA needs. They need a formidable duo like that. Like Europe, it was always Poulter and Sergio.
Yeah.
They were the team, and they would never go down. Like, you need these teams.
You watch the Europeans on the side, and of course they're up big, so they're cheering. But the entire team, you keep saying, looks like a team. They're all friends, it looks like. They're all embracing each other, cheering each other on. You look at the Americans, and maybe that's something to say about us as, who we are right now as people, whatever. The Americans look like they don't even know each other. They don't care. They're giving high fives here and there, but like no camaraderie. There's no cheer. It's sad. It's really sad.
Especially when the thing about American golf right now is a lot of the best players, Thomas, Spieth, Morikawa to an extent, Sam Burns to an extent, Ricky Fowler, that group of guys, all of which are on the Ryder Cup team, are all boys. They hang out together. Justin Thomas was the best man at Jordan Spieth's wedding. They're best friends. All these guys are boys, and you can't tell outside of Spieth and Thomas. But Morikawa's buddies with those guys. Sam Burns is buddies with those guys. Ricky Fowler, that was the trio. It was Thomas, Spieth, and Fowler.
Ricky Fowler played so bad, we forgot to criticize him for being picked. He's been terrible.
He played in the morning, was so bad that I forgot he was on the team earlier.
There's an argument to be made to just pair him up against McIlroy because you just assume you're going to take that one. Just give it to him. Let Rory just show out.
It's it's a Tiger versus oh God, who was it? Stephen Ames, I want to say, when Tiger beat him in 10 holes. It might not have been Ames. I got to look that up, but
I mean, he played that bad yesterday, and I forgot about him. I forgot he was even on the team. That's how poorly he played yesterday.
It it's just so bad.
There's a real argument to be made for a lot of things. I mean, if they lose this as bad as they should and probably are going to lose it, a lot of golf talk's going to be coming up late after this about, captain's picks, Zach Johnson being awful. Even they talked about on the broadcast, they were like, well, there might be some morale issues in the locker room. And the one guy, what's his? You don't even say it. He was terrible. I hate the color guy. I don't know.
I think it was Paul Azinger.
Yeah, he is terrible. He's like, I don't buy this morale talk. Vibes are high, and I'm like, are they high, Paul? They're down 8 in the second day. They're getting creamed everywhere. These guys have to be feeling it. Like, of course, vibes are going to be bad.
Yeah, the morale is going to be low, and that's fine.
Yeah,
I don't want the morale to be very high when you're down 6 in the afternoon session on Saturday.
You shouldn't be happy. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I mean, there should be something to want to change. This could be a huge momentum swing. That's what I was saying at the beginning of the show. But I mean, you take 3 or 4 here, and you're right back in it. You've got all the afternoon stretch, and then you just got to come out and start strong tomorrow, and you have a real shot at this thing.
It's just they're not fully out of it yet.
Yeah,
and yes, it was Tiger Woods and Stephen Ames that Tiger just absolutely. I got to get the the actual score, and because it was Stephen Ames was talking some trash. Yeah,
I remember this. I do.
I'm sorry, this was at the Dell Match Play. It wasn't at the Ryder Cup. It was at the Match Play. But I was gonna say I thought Stephen Ames was American, but yeah, he beat him 9-8 at the Match Play because Ames was talking some junk about Woods. This is in 2006. Keep in mind. So Tiger is very much Tiger.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is prime Tiger Woods. He's winning at least 5 events a year on tour.
It's pre any scandal. So Tiger is still king.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very...
And I'm looking to try to find the exact quote about that Ames made about Tiger. It was essentially yeah, I don't know if this guy's going to be able to last or something with that swing. I don't know if this guy really is going to last on tour. He seems like a flash in the pan.
Which he's been there for a decade at this point, winning major. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He was, let's see, by 2006, let's see how many majors Tiger Woods had won. Because it was, no, I just want Tiger Woods.
The producer over here is doing a pretty lackluster job so far today. It took him a while just to confirm Stephen Ames was the guy.
Yeah, our producer is not doing a great job today. 1, 2, 3, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He had 12 majors.
He was already 4 away from Jack at that point.
Right? Yeah, or 6. Jack won 18. Okay. Yeah. He won 12 of his 15 majors by this point. And Ames was like, yeah, I don't know about this guy. So Tiger Woods goes out and beats him 9-8. He's like, yeah, you're not sure now? That's what Rory versus Ricky would be tomorrow.
Yeah.
Is Ricky would be lucky to win a hole the way he's playing right now.
I know his health and everything with Tiger still, but isn't he a guy that could still compete at this thing in your mind, or no? He's past that in your mind.
No, he couldn't.
Really?
As much as I would love to see Tiger fully come back and, he'll never be Tiger again.
Sure.
But, compete at, on a regular basis and, be there on Sunday in majors, that guy's gone. I just think that guy's gone. He still strikes the ball so well.
Yep.
But right now, it's all about stamina. I don't know if he'll ever get that stamina back.
But in this type of format, if he could only play, I mean, he doesn't even need to play necessarily every day. You know, he could play a morning one day, an afternoon the next day, and play single. I mean, he can kind of space it out nicely if he wanted to. And I think there's an extra aura if you're in a European. You're Robbie McIntyre, and you get paired up on the
Yeah.
last day against Tiger Woods.
Mhm.
It's not only I have to go out and win for my country. I'm playing Tiger Woods in the fight. I mean, there's got to be something still at his age. I mean, that vibe, the aura that he gives off is
Yeah.
still.
I'm sure that you could use him, I think, you could use him once in the team portion
Yep.
and then singles.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you're going to be able to. You can't get 36 out of him in one day.
No.
Absolutely not. So I'd say you would have to use him once in team play, pair him up with. I mean, just thinking about like if he was on this team, you'd have to pair him up with, Cantlay or
Yep.
one of the top guys we have, just in case he doesn't,
Yep.
perform. And then you would have him in singles strictly for that intimidation factor. Also, we're getting awfully close to him being the Ryder Cup captain. He's 47 years old.
True.
I think his days of being, of playing in the Ryder Cup are over. I wouldn't be shocked if he was the captain next time around. He'll be 49 in a couple of years.
True.
That wouldn't shock me at all. And plus, he can just drive around in a cart. Like, he doesn't have to walk.
Yep.
Seriously, that's part of it, is he wouldn't have to walk. And who wouldn't want to go out there and win a Ryder Cup for Tiger Woods?
Yep.
So you talk about the intimidation factor. You know how hard it would be for Europe to, sit there and go, wait a minute, Tiger's on the other side. Oh, jeez.
Yep.
Even
is he here? Is he watching us now?
Even Rory, who Tiger and Rory are best friends,
Yep.
and they're going in together on that like simulator golf thing. They're partners in that. They're partners in other things. They're both Team TaylorMade. They hang out together. Even Rory would be like, oh, God, I got to beat a team that Tiger put together? Ah, jeez.
Right.
So I think that's a lot more likely is in 2 years that Tiger would be the Ryder Cup captain.
At Bethpage.
Is it? Oh, yeah, it's at Bethpage in 2 years.
Yep.
See, that'd be brutal for Team Europe. And we can talk, too, about how this course is constructed, because it's really interesting that you find in certain sports, and golf is one of them, where you're from kind of determines your style of play in a sense.
Yep.
European style of golf and American style of golf are two very different things.
Mm-hmm.
And the way this course is constructed, and you're allowed to, this is what the Ryder Cup is whoever hosts it, builds the course the way they want it to play.
Yep.
Americans are very driver wedge. That's what I want to hit. I want to pound a driver 330. I want to hit a 50-degree wedge into this green, call it a day.
Mm-hmm.
This course eliminates that.
Yeah, if you're not in a fairway, this course is really hard.
Yeah, because Americans, and call it the Bryson DeChambeau style of play, it doesn't matter if you're in the fairway. It's just I want to be as close to this green as I possibly can because I have a better shot of hitting the green if I'm closer.
Yep.
Fair. Not when the rough is this thick.
Yeah.
Not when, if you're 15 yards offline, you're in knee-high fescue.
I mean, they have absolutely neutralized some of these top dog hitters, and they're just realizing that maybe I take 3-wood here. Maybe I can club down and still be safe.
And this course has 3 drivable par 4s.
Right.
I want to say it's the 5th hole, the 13th, and the 16th.
Yeah, they're all like 320-ish or somewhere around there. Yeah.
And Victor Hovland made an ace in a practice round.
Yeah.
Well, kind of. It was a second shot, but people don't talk about that.
Did he shank one the first one?
No, he didn't shank one, but he hit one and then just dropped another one and hit it again, and it went in. And it was a practice round, so it doesn't matter.
Right,
but
who cares?
and so this course has 3 drivable par 4s, which you would think plays into the Americans' hands, but they just try to drive every single one of them, which sometimes works. Sometimes you hit a 4-iron.
Yep.
Sometimes you go 4-iron sand wedge, stick it to 2 feet, and make the birdie. Because if you try to drive the green, all of a sudden you're in the deep rough. Then you've got a really tough up and down. Then you got to try to get it close, and then it rolls 8 feet by. Then you miss the birdie putt, and you go home with your par.
Mm-hmm. And you've lost the hole.
And you've lost the hole because a guy in the European team hit 4-iron, as Rory just absolutely piped one. Watching him drive the golf ball is still wild to me. But yeah, guy hits a 4-iron, wedge, like I said, 3 feet, birdie, call it a day.
Enough said.
We haven't been doing that. It's all like, yeah, like you said, we're just now starting to see some guys say, yeah, maybe I should take 3-wood here, which sometimes is still too much. Their style of play is so much. And I think part of it, too, is Europeans just play more match play than we do in, their free time.
Yep.
So this is a format that they're more familiar with, which is why I think it's stupid that the Dell Technologies match play isn't going to be a thing anymore, because I love match play, and I think we should have more match play on the PGA Tour. Rose and McIntyre are now 3 up, so we're definitely going to lose that match.
And Spieth and Thomas will lose their first one.
Yeah, it would be their first loss as a team. That sucks.
It's tough. You were saying the Europeans play a lot of match play. The best American match players never even they're not even necessarily great golfers.
No, Kevin Kisner might be the best match play player. Maybe not at this point, but he was at one point the best match play player in the country.
Never got talked, because I remember 2 years ago he was talked about as like just not making the Ryder Cup, and it's like, why not?
Why not?
Guys like that who grew up, he was just a Southern boy playing around the clubs and just playing a lot of match play. You're used to it. It's different. It's not just going and playing your own ball. I mean, it is, but
it is, but there's an entirely different vibe to match play.
You're playing your opponent. As much as you're playing the course, you got to play Tommy Fleetwood, whatever it is.
I'm no great golfer. I'm a 13 handicap. Whenever I play a match with some other guys, like, we'll play for 10, 20 bucks. We don't play for much money, but, at Bellevue on Mondays, all the bag boys, go out and play, and we'll play matches against each other. And sometimes it's stroke play, sometimes it's match play. I personally am a better match play player than I'm a stroke play player.
Stroke play gets out of hand.
That's the thing. Stroke play can get out of hand. If you're, like I said, I'm a 13 handicap. Yeah, I'll blow up for a triple on a hole. It happens. Guess what? I'm 1 down. I'm not 5 back anymore. Right. I'm 1 down.
The ability to just take a hit, move on, and go to the next hole is something that's different than even most holes of golf. Because you're right. Even if you're in a major, you're on Saturday at a major, and you just quad bogey something,
you're done.
You're dead.
Yeah. Unless you have an 8-stroke lead, you're dead. Yep. You're not coming back from that. It's like, now it's all of a sudden, okay, I got a par 4, a par 4, a par 3, and a par 5. I got to go birdie, birdie, par, eagle, or birdie, 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 eagle to be back in there. Even the best golfers in the world can't do that half the time. So that's why match play is such an entirely different mindset, and we just don't do enough of it here. And that's why Europe has owned us in the Ryder Cup the last 30 years. Because they just play it more. And that win last year gave me hope for the future of U.S. teams. Because it was a shellacking. And I thought it was going to be close, because I still don't get why we had a Ryder Cup at Whistling Straits. It's a fantastic course. I love Whistling Straits. It should host the U.S. Open more. I love that course. Americans should not host the Ryder Cup on a links course.
Correct.
That's all they play over there.
Fact.
They all only play links golf. This isn't a links course, but McIlroy, Fleetwood, McIntyre, all the English, Justin Rose, all the English guys on the European team, that's all they play. It's links golf. So why are we having the Ryder Cup at a links course?
Beat them at their own game.
And we did, thankfully. But going into that, I was like, this is terrible. We couldn't have picked a worse course to host the Ryder Cup.
It's a silly decision.
Jim asked, does Europe have more match play events? On the European Tour, I believe there's 3.
I don't know.
I think they have 2 or 3 on the European Tour, and the PGA Tour had 1. And that's no longer because, and that's a whole nother can of worms with Austin Country Club asking for more money. And it's like, you've hosted this event for 30 years. All of a sudden you want more money now?
Right.
I guess that was membership at the club being annoying. And
It's one of the most unique tournaments in the PGA Tour.
It's one of my favorites. First of all, because that course is awesome.
Oh,
I mean, talk about a match play built course. There's so much risk reward. And again, match play doesn't matter if you have a quad. So,
go for it.
Just go for it. And that course is perfectly built to host a match play event. Justin Thomas just absolutely piped one.
They're going to need it.
Absolutely going to need it. That's, right down Broadway. And so they have more events on the tour, but I'm just talking about in their lives, in their personal lives. They grow up playing match play. They don't grow up playing stroke play. Yeah. And when they play, someone just at their local club, wherever they're a member. I mean, people seem to forget these guys just also have memberships at golf clubs and just go out and play when they're not playing events.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they grew up doing. And a lot of junior golf in Europe is match play. Like the U.S. Amateur here is a match play event.
Yep.
It's like all of junior golf in Europe is match play.
Okay.
And not stroke play.
I like it. I love match play.
I do too.
We're in total agreement there.
So anyway, just a long rant about how we're just not built for this.
Summed up, this is a stinker.
Yeah.
It's a real tough weekend.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to get worse. But Syracuse football plays today.
And that's what we're going to talk about right after this break. We'll be right back here on Outside the Box Score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse on the Score 1260. For the best local beer in Central New York, the only place you need to look is Myers Creek Brewing Company, with 16 different beers on tap at both the Inner Harbor in Syracuse and the Palace that is the Cazenovia location. Myers Creek has something for everyone. Want a bite to eat? Both locations feature a kitchen with delicious pizzas, some of the best wings in Syracuse, and much more. Make sure to check out our friends at Myers Creek Brewing Company, the official bar of Outside the Box Score.
Mets games now, right?
Yeah, Mets season is over.
How'd they finish?
Terrible. They're like 30 games below 500.
This was weird. They called up 3 of their top prospects pretty
4.
early. 4? Okay.
Or 3 of them early, but eventually all 4.
Gotcha.
Jim brings up, I forgot, the NCAA is also match play.
Oh, okay.
NCAA tournament's also match play in golf, so I'd forgotten about that. Because college golf is weird. Yeah. Like, a normal tournament's like combined stroke play, combined isn't the word I'm looking for.
Cumulative or something?
Cumulative, accumulated stroke play.
There we go. We got it.
Yeah. So, yeah, like college golf is like weird, but your dad said so is the U.S. Amateur. Yeah, that's the example I used was U.S. Amateur being match play. But how long has it been since some of these guys played in the U.S. Am?
Right. Unlike Bjord or whatever.
Yeah.
And he won the European Amateur within the last 5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just so much more prepared for this level of golf and this style of golf.
The Molinari brothers discussing
bastards.
things.
Bastards, those stinky Italians.
Jesus.
I'm Italian. It's okay.
We're live.
Grease Gang, what's up?
If Dino loses the next 3 games, he should be fired. No.
Is that what Jim said?
No, Jim says if Dino loses the next 3 games, blank. I wouldn't be surprised. I do like SU a lot today.
But, I mean, their next 3 games are Clemson,
FSU, Florida State, and North Carolina. Like, yeah, it's
lower the expectations.
It's kind of expected that they lose 2 out of 3. Yeah. I think they win today. I don't think
they win today.
I do.
Wow.
We'll talk about it when we come back, but I'm
excited to hear it.
I do think they win.
But yeah,
today.
FSU, they're going to be probably 17-point underdogs.
Yeah.
18
at least.
Something big.
Yeah, it's going to be a really big number.
If they win today, though, they've got to be ranked, right?
And we're back outside the box score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse, right here on the Score 1260. SU football plays in just about a half an hour. 12 o'clock kickoff at the JMA Wireless Dome, playing Clemson. Homecoming as well for SU today, I believe. Big game. Should be a good crowd at the Dome, probably around 43,000 if I had to guess. So
it's an orange out, isn't it?
It is an orange out. They're wearing the all-orange uniforms.
For the Clemson Tigers.
Yeah.
It's an orange out against the Clemson. No irony. No irony.
No, it's one of those things. USA, Harmon just won their match, by the way, 2-1.
Okay.
So another point on the board for Team USA. And so it's one of those things. I've seen people on social media talking about, like, all right, who's the better orange team?
Yep.
This always comes up with, like, Texas and Tennessee and Clemson and Syracuse. We're literally called the Orange. I'm sick and tired of people saying other orange teams are better or the more orange team. You cannot actually associate any other team with the color orange more than you can the Syracuse Orange.
Fair point.
Plain and simple. So are like, Tennessee's, burnt orange is the real orange. No. We've been orange not only since like the 50s.
Yeah, I've never seen an orange volunteer. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But some tigers are pretty orange.
Some tigers are, in fact, an orange animal.
I wouldn't like Seattle go up against a tiger.
Hey, tigers only eat meat.
It'd be like, oh, true.
Tigers eat meat. They don't eat fruit. Otto wins.
It'd be like semi-pro. Gets into the ring gets into the ring with a live bear.
Yeah.
Or a live tiger. You really doing this, guys?
But our band's called the Sour Citrus Society. Our mascot is an orange. We're the Syracuse Orange. We were the Orange Men before that. We're the real orange team.
Orange out.
The Syracuse Orange are the true orange team in the country, and I will hear zero arguments to the contrary.
Clemson can keep wearing purple.
Yes, they look better in purple. I also.
Is that what they're wearing today?
They should.
No, they're probably wearing white.
Right.
But I also, and this is a very personal thing, I don't like the shade of orange for neither Texas nor Tennessee.
I like Tennessee's. It's that light orange. Texas, I get. Texas kind of brownish orange.
Yeah, I said burnt orange for Tennessee. I meant it for Texas. Texas has that burnt orange that I don't like.
Tennessee's real bright, bright orange.
Yeah, it's too bright. I think it's too bright.
Sherbet.
Yeah, it looks like orange sherbet. Exactly, Braylon. And I don't vibe with it.
Okay.
I think SU has the perfect shade of orange.
Get it out, yeah. Should we get a hue test like we're painting or something?
Yeah, we'll get the little color cards like strips? You're about to paint color strips like you're about to paint a room and just have all the different official shades of orange. But
I will guarantee you the 4 to 5 times you would rather pick Syracuse Orange than Clemson Orange or Volunteer Orange.
Exactly. Let's cut it out with this social media chatter about who's the real orange team.
I'm sorry, I didn't know it was good. I thought I was just making an ironic point.
No.
I had no clue I struck a nerve here.
You did.
I'm sorry.
It's the Syracuse Orange. If they were called the Clemson Orange, there'd be a conversation. They're not. Anyway. Also, Tigers doesn't mean anything. LSU is also the Tigers are yellow and purple. So, anyway. To end that diatribe.
Yep.
I think not only is this going to be a good game, because Syracuse always plays Clemson close.
Sure.
We played Deshaun Watson close. We played Trevor Lawrence close. Always play Clemson close. I really think SU wins this game today.
Noon start?
Noon start.
They're 7-point underdogs.
Which is a wild number to me.
At home, it is crazy. We talked about it last week. If they lost this game, Clemson, and we won, I thought SU was going to be favored.
I thought it was going to be close. I would have said, if anything, if Clemson was favored, it would have been a field goal.
Yep.
That's what I was thinking.
7's a lot.
When I saw 7, they're a touchdown favorite at the Dome?
On homecoming? Orange out?
2-2 against 4-0. I know, Clemson lost to Duke and who they lose to last week? I'm drawing a blank. FSU, yeah, of course. And they played FSU close. It was a really good game. Duke, not so much. 4-0 against 2-2 I don't care what the past competition is, should not be a touchdown difference.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think it's a lot. I think it's a lot
I
of
think
points.
I think it's a lot of points, and I just like SU to win. Clemson's offense, has not impressed me at all this year. I think it's mediocre comparatively to Clemson offenses in the past. Even though, compared to last year, they didn't have a great offense. I think this offense is very similar. SU's defense is legit. I think we've got a legitimately good defense, not a decent defense, not an okay. I think our defense is legitimately good, top 25 good in the country.
Yeah, I agree.
What makes people think that Clemson is going to go out there and put 30 on us? I don't see it happening.
All of this to say, Mark, that this game comes down to one guy, your guy.
It does all come down to Garrett Schrader.
Can Garrett Schrader march this team down the field? Because even if they
he's going to have to
14,
because he doesn't have anyone to throw to. So it's going to be the Garrett Schrader, LaQuinn Allen show.
Yeah.
And Clemson's defense is good. I think Syracuse has a better defense.
I would agree with that.
So therefore, if we have the better defense and an offense that is more dynamic, I'll say. I don't know if we have a better offense, but a more dynamic offense. That seems like a recipe for a win to me.
When are you going to start respecting Garrett Schrader? If he beats Clemson, can you
Yes.
get on the Garrett Schrader bandwagon?
I'll get on the Garrett Schrader bandwagon if he beats Clemson.
We got one more game.
Can Clemson be disciplined enough in their pass rush to contain Schrader's scrambles? No one has yet. And this goes back years now.
Yep.
Very rarely do we see Garrett Schrader get bottled up. And it used to be because SU had an atrocious offensive line, so he was running for his life every single play. But that isn't the case anymore. We've got a decent offensive line. We don't have a great one, but we've got a solid line. So no one's been able to do it yet. Why would it be Clemson all of a sudden? When they didn't do it last year. They did it in the second half, but there was a 3 quarters of football where Garrett Schrader was running all over them. They didn't do it last year. They didn't do it the year before that. Why is it sudden change? Why all of a sudden do people think this Clemson team, which has not done much to prove that they're a better team than Syracuse, thinks they're going to come into the Dome and beat the Orange?
I think it's just people's lack of faith in Syracuse.
Which,
just because of our past here.
And I am the number one guy to say I'm apathetic about this team and I don't have faith in this team. But to me, we're putting too much stock in the name. People are acting like we're playing the U in the 80s. We're playing FSU in 2013 with Jameis Winston at quarterback.
Yep.
It's not the case.
There's something to look at, too, where Clemson coming into this year, being Clemson, they weren't ranked extremely high, right? They were top 10, but not normal Clemson.
Were they top 10?
I think they were ranked in the top 10 to start the year.
That's wild. I didn't
so.
think they were going to be.
Because they lost, when they lost to Duke, I think they were like 11th or 12th.
Okay.
And they dropped way down.
Maybe 9. I think
Okay.
At the beginning of the year or something like that.
Okay.
That might be right, but
yeah.
I'm not sure.
Something high. But so when you're going into that season as Clemson, you're looking at the college football playoff.
Yeah.
Now through 4 weeks, you've lost 2 games to probably your two best conference teammate, maybe Syracuse and Duke, whatever.
Yeah.
That dream is gone.
Yeah.
The college football playoff is gone. How do you convince your players to continue to play for something else? That dream has changed. Their hopes of winning that is gone. Syracuse, on the other hand, this game is what they thought this game was going to be.
Yep.
It is still the stepping stone. It's homecoming, big game, orange out, a whole 9. And they're playing as best as they can right now to beat that. And they think about last year. A lot of these guys still there. This is a much bigger game for Syracuse.
This is a massive game for Syracuse. I'm glad you brought that up. Thinking about last year, we had Clemson in the palm of our hand.
Yeah,
we were 5-0.
What a great half! What a great first half.
I'm sorry, we were 6-0.
Yep.
We were 6-0 going into that game. We had Clemson in the palm of our hand, and it just disappeared. It's gone.
Along with the season after that.
Along with the season, they go on to lose out. A lot of it, in my opinion, because of the demoralization that happened in the second half of that Clemson game.
Yep.
You think these guys don't want to go out there and beat them by 20?
Not today. Oh, yeah.
That's all. You think Garrett Schrader, a man who, like I said, I've said many a thing about Garrett Schrader's ability to throw the football. What I'll never take away from him is his ability as a leader, his ability to rile up this team, to get them going. You think that he isn't thinking about that, saying, I want to kill these guys today? I don't want this to be a good game. People, myself included, I think it's going to be a tight, good game.
Yep.
Garrett Schrader doesn't want that. These guys, Quinn Allen doesn't want that. He didn't even play in that game last year, and he doesn't want to watch that. He was watching that or he doesn't want to see that again. He was watching that from the sidelines.
Now he gets a piece.
Saying, I'm going to do what we couldn't do last year. I just think, Jim brought it up. Schrader last year, 21 carries for 71 yards.
Not great.
Not great, but
Decent, not
for
great.
a quarterback,
Yep.
it's 71 rushing yards from my quarterback. Yes, please.
Mm-hmm.
And he says if he does that today, SU easily loses. I don't think so. It's not about the total yards. It's about where those yards come. If he's doing that at the goal line, getting in for a score or two. Tucker only had 54 yards last year. That's right. Clemson's run defense was good against us last year.
It was the defense.
Yeah.
Turnovers galore.
Yeah, there were a million turnovers. I like SU today. So not only do I like them on the number, because I think 7's way too many points, I just think they win. And then we're 5-0, and we feel great. And then Florida State rips our heart out next week, and we lose by 20. Because that's the way Syracuse football goes. And the question has been, if we win today, are we ranked? I still don't think so.
Not even like 24, 23.
Maybe. But again, that's just the name doing all the heavy lifting. If we win today, we beat a team that is now 2-3.
Who lost to the only two real opponents that they've had.
Yeah. And only 3 real opponents that they've had if SU beats them.
Sorry.
But we beat a 2-3 team that the 2 wins they have are against nobodies.
Yep.
Like, so what? We got 8 points in the AP poll last week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that vaults us into the top 25 if we beat Clemson. It might just be time to accept that Clemson's having a down year. And we beat just a kind of mediocre team.
Dabo's got his own problems. I mean, that guy is a guy who I could see him just stop coaching soon.
I could as well.
Because he's just not going to, if he continues to just not embrace the NIL and the transfer portal and all of that, there's no reason to compete at this level. If you can't embrace it, you will be left to die.
Well, I mean, he embraced. They built the team in God's name, image, and likeness. Josh, that's what it was all about.
Number 1, upstairs. That's all.
That quote, that was one of the most wild quotes I've ever heard from a football coach. Just, we take advantage of NIL. We built this team in God's name, image, and likeness. What are you talking about, Dabo? Talk about being out of touch.
Maybe he is a guy that's like that. It's hard. I think that's more of a Southern thing. I mean, there's very
he's in a very religious, he's very much like that. It was just a wild thing to hear in context.
Northerners are religious, but them Southerners, they do it different. They actually talk
real
like
different.
that. Whereas up here, it's like idioms almost. You'd think like someone's joking with you, like, well, it's and you're like, oh, I got you.
Yeah. I think SU wins today. I really do. Do you win? Yes or no?
I'd hope so. I'm not as confident as you seem to be.
Okay,
but I'd hope so. Yes.
Braylon?
I think they win by 10.
10.
I say 10.
I like
doing
it.
Score predictions already?
Yeah. So, do you have a score for that?
28. Well, no, that's not a good.
That's too high. Sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe like 31-21, something like that.
31-21.
Yeah.
Josh?
I think I think it's gonna be pretty low scoring, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe it's like 17-14, something like that.
I was thinking 21-14. I think we win by a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think they're. Jim says SU shoots themselves in the foot and loses 20-17.
Good.
Very possible.
It's possible. They still cover the number. And just saying, they still cover. Take a timeout. Phone line's open, 315-671-1260 if you want to chime in here on Outside the Box Score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse on the Score 1260. craft beer, the only place you need to go is Myers Creek Brewing Company with 16 brews on tap at both the Cazenovia and Inner Harbor locations. Myers Creek has the best selection of locally brewed libations in all of central New York. Want a nice hazy IPA? The Velvet Fog is a must try. More of a traditional Pilsner, how about the Floatin' on By? And for you sour drinkers, the It Takes Blue to Mango. So crack open a cold one with the official beer of Outside the Box Score, Myers Creek. 7.5 now?
On my book,
No, it was 6.5 yesterday.
it's minus 115 though.
Yeah, I mean that money line's 210. That's juicy to me.
Yeah, 230.
It moved 230. Oh,
I'll put some on there. Again, they're not real books. I was talking to someone last night. I said a spread or something. They're like, yeah, this isn't real. That's not real.
Yeah.
Just
Jim says attendance or lack thereof. Is it show me first and I'll come back? We're not a football town, plain and simple. Like
I think it's gonna be packed today.
I think it's gonna be a good crowd. They're gonna announce a sellout, I think, or close to it,
Yes.
and we're gonna be about 10,000 shy.
That'd be pretty noticeable.
Oh,
10,000?
yeah.
In that place?
Maybe 5 to 8.
It's what,
but
43? Fits 43 thou?
No, for football, if it's 50,
50?
I think. Yeah.
Good Lord.
So I think going. I think it'll be a good crowd, but yeah, like 42 maybe.
Okay.
No, it's not gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be packed. Yeah, just under 50 for football. Yeah, we're just not a football town.
I'm always shocked at the level of they have the one student section,
Mhm.
but I am shocked at the lack of students that actually. I mean, that section's packed, but
Yeah.
they have how many students actually are on campus?
Yeah.
They could fill it with just them almost. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm always surprised by that. And sure, not everyone loves football, whatever, but get up for your team a little bit in my mind. I don't know.
No, I completely agree. But even me, I haven't been to a football game yet this year. I don't know if I'm gonna make it to one. I went to 3 or 4 last year.
I went to 2 basketball games last year.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we went to a football and a basketball game together.
We went to homecoming last year.
Yeah, against Wagner, 59-0.
Yeah, pretty bad crowd, but I mean, you're playing Wagner.
Yeah, I mean that crowd was awful for a homecoming game. That was terrible.
You got a live pick coming on in?
And we're back outside the box score. With me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse, right here on the Score 1260. Now, if you aren't going to the JMA Wireless Dome today, and I expect a decent crowd, but probably 42,000, which will I think be our biggest crowd for football this year, which will happen when you play Clemson on homecoming. But if you aren't going to the JMA Wireless Dome, why don't you watch the game with our friends at Myers Creek Brewing Company?
Oh.
They've got 2 locations. The Palace in Cazenovia, which Josh went to last week.
Fantastic.
That place is awesome, isn't it?
Just great.
We went to the Oktoberfest celebration last week at Myers Creek. Shout out Ryan Hall, who won the Stein lifting competition. I saw he's a member of Bellevue. I saw him yesterday. I was just talking to him a little bit. Hasn't gotten his first free crawler yet. The Stein lifting competition, they offered free crawlers of their Oktoberfest beer for a year. So hasn't gotten his first one yet, but they did send him home with some 4-packs.
Hey.
So we were there last week in Cazenovia. Unbelievable spot. There was music playing. The band was great. Had some delicious beer, some food. We had the Bavarian pretzel. We had a pizza. They've got great pizzas there.
Landscaping's unreal, too, out there. The back patio, the back bar, the bar. There's multiple bars. It's fantastic.
They have a full disc golf course. Everything about this place is fantastic. Braylon, I don't think you've ever been. I'm telling you, full disc golf course on the property. There's a spot for you, like a trail for you to walk your dog. You can bring them out. Unbelievable location. They had all 16 of their taps running. It wasn't just Oktoberfest beer, but they always have 16 craft beers on tap. You're floating on by your Velvet Fog.
Melt
I do this just so you can get in the Seinfeld Mel Torme reference. The diplomatic strategery, my personal favorite, whatever it is you want, they've got it. So why not check out our friends this afternoon at Myers Creek Brewing Company? You've got the location in the Inner Harbor in Syracuse if you're around here, or if you're willing to take the drive, check out the palatial estate in Cazenovia. Myers Creek Brewing Company, the official bar and beer of Outside the Box Score. For the best local beer in Central New York, the only place you need to look is Myers Creek Brewing Company, with 16 different beers on tap at both the Inner Harbor in Syracuse and the Palace that is the Cazenovia location. Myers Creek has something for everyone. Want a bite to eat? Both locations feature a kitchen with delicious pizzas, some of the best wings in Syracuse, and much more. Make sure to check out our friends at Myers Creek Brewing Company, the official bar of Outside the Box Score.
Hi, Billy Whitaker here. If you've been holding off on buying a pre-owned vehicle, the time is now. We have inventory arriving daily, and finally, used
That's what it
car
appears to
prices are coming down.
Pepperoni
Check us out
omelet?
at
What the hell is that?
BillyWhitakerCars.com.
Listen,
Nice
the
cars
hood
that
Bobby
are
Flay cannot be
good
stopped.
to go.
Ready to take your
That's-
career to
that's
the
what he calls
next
himself.
level? Make your next
Yes.
step count and choose Dot
He's
Foods
a
and
large
Dot
Hispanic
Transportation.
man.
No
Yeah,
matter
he's a
what
large
your
Hispanic man who
experience,
calls
we'll
himself
get
the
you
Hood
on
Bobby
the path to
Flay.
success from day one.
Shout out Zach
We offer
Nunez.
best-in-class
He's
pay,
yeah,
loyalty
awesome cook.
benefits,
He's
incredible
always
room for
cooking up some
advancements.
goodies.
Find out what you've been missing.
I just realized the ads were playing while we were talking. But yeah, awesome cook. But yeah, that's his isn't that his Instagram handle?
It's his Twitter one. Yeah.
Or his Twitter one is Hood Bobby Flay. That's right. Yeah, shout out Brianna Stewart winning MVP at WNBA.
Did she? No.
Yeah, second MVP award.
And they barely won last night.
Did they clinch that series?
It's 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah.
Aces rolled,
Pretty,
right?
yeah, because I think the Sun won a game. I think it's 2-1.
Okay.
But will they be the juggernaut in the final? I mean, it's just them in the finals, right? Aces, Liberty, probably.
Aces made it last night. They beat us.
And we're back outside the box score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse, right here on the score 1260. Couple of quick hitters. Fulton varsity boys basketball has a new coach. That's David Wallace. Played for Fulton in 2001. He was a captain and led the team to the sectional semifinals. So a guy sticking around in Fulton. Other local coaching news. I don't remember if I mentioned this last week. Josh and I went to the OCC LeMoyne baseball doubleheader a couple weeks ago, and it was great. OCC tied the first game 2-2. We only stayed for the first game. I had to come back here and produce the Syracuse Mets game. So after the first game, I caught up with Coach Perino over at OCC, Coach Cassidy at LeMoyne. I talked to both of them, and Coach Miola, who's been on the show before, was at the game. He is a volunteer assistant for LeMoyne, and he had recently retired from coaching high school baseball. He was my varsity baseball coach for the Syracuse City School District, and it was recently announced that he was retiring, and we discussed it on this show. And so I'm talking to Coach Miola, and he's telling me, he's like, yeah, I got to get ready for, baseball season. I'm like, what do you mean?
Is he coming back?
He's coming back as an assistant at Cicero North Syracuse because they just hired a new head coach.
Okay.
Stephen Bailey, who was Coach Miola's assistant for me in high school.
That's awesome.
Stephen Bailey was Coach Miola's assistant for 9 years coaching high school baseball. He was a football coach at CNS, as well as coaching baseball still around. I don't remember where he was coaching. Recently he had a kid, so all the congratulations in the world to Steve Bailey. Love Bailey. So he was hired as the head baseball coach at CNS and brought in Coach Miola to be his top assistant.
That's awesome.
So one of the great coaching duos around here, sticking around. And listen, they coached Syracuse City School District for a long time, starting with Syracuse East and then moving up to the district. They had some good teams, made some, won some sectional games. CNS is a powerhouse. And with those two coaching, watch out. That's all I think they could do such a good job with that program. And I'm so happy for them I think they'll be able to compete for not only a sectional championship, but I think they might win a game or two in the state
The big old state
tournament. So
Ooh, buddy.
all so happy for both of them. We've got one more timeout that we're going to take. Come back, wrap things up here on Outside the Box Score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse on the Score 1260. If you're a fan of local craft beer, the only place you need to go is Myers Creek Brewing Company with 16 brews on tap at both the Cazenovia and Inner Harbor locations. Myers Creek has the best selection of locally brewed libations in all of central New York. Want a nice hazy IPA? The Velvet Fog is a must-try. More of a traditional Pilsner, how about the Floatin' on By? And for you sour drinkers, the It Takes Blue to Mango. So crack open a cold one with the official beer of Outside the Box Score, Myers Creek.
Hey, look, honey, I got you a new favorite. I got a great deal on a new residential trash pickup service.
Yeah, this is definitely worse than 95.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark, I'd be remiss if we don't just quickly mention, I'll quit when we out, that the pickleball tournament is happening. We got to keep the buzz going.
Oh, yes. We'll talk about that after.
All right.
Once we come back.
Yeah.
Oh, and I got to mention the YouTube video, too.
Yeah, of course.
So that'll be how we wrap it up.
What did he end up as? Oh, we could just say, like, does he end up in the top 10, I guess, would be the tease.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll give a tease. Go Orange. Need 3 wins to hit the over 6. I think that's locked up.
Jim?
Jim watched the video. He said Boeheim was just about right. We
Thanks,
had him
Jim.
12th in
It's
our
tough.
college basketball tier list. And he says that's right, just about right. So.
It's tough when you actually do it. Because in your
It
mind,
is.
like, when you think about it, you're like, oh, he's top 10 instantly.
Yeah.
But then you actually think about it, and you're like, oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
That is tough.
What about the baseball wild card drama in the NL? Okay, so that really only matters to me, but still.
My bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say, guess who sent that, Josh?
Yeah.
The Reds are done.
Probably.
Yeah. I hate to break it to you.
I don't know, man. I mean, the Astros still have to play, and I think the Astros are just better than Diamondbacks. The Astros were
The
dogs
Astros are in
last
the
year.
American League.
Yeah, but they still have to. They're
Oh,
playing for the division.
Yeah, but
The-
what's that have to do with the NL?
They're playing the Diamondbacks.
Oh,
So
they're
if
playing
they
the
win-
Diamondbacks
yeah.
right now. Okay.
It doesn't. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it
I would
doesn't, but wins for them or wins for the Reds, basically at this
Mm-hmm.
point. The only thing is you need the Rangers to win. I believe today is what he said last night. So then the
Yeah.
the Rangers win today. They're still fighting for tomorrow.
And we're back outside the box score with me, Mark Rowlands, your home for local sports in Syracuse, right here on the Score 1260. A little housekeeping that we should have done at the start of the show, but we're doing it at the very end. Couple things. One, the wheels are in motion for the pickleball tournament.
It's coming, folks.
It's coming.
It's coming. We got orgs. We're reaching out.
Yep.
It's happening.
We've reached out to the CNY Pickleball Association.
Yep.
So we're going to try to partner with them. Like I said, depending on what time of day it is, maybe get some Myers Creek in there, a little that make things a little more
We do
interesting.
enough for them. We sponsor them.
So that is going to happen. It's in the works. We're going to do it.
Yep.
We're going to host a pickleball tournament. Another thing, yesterday I forgot to tweet about it. I'll tweet about it right after the show today. Josh and I released a video on YouTube, Outside the Box Score Extra Innings, and essentially what we did was we made a tier list of the all-time greatest college basketball coaches. We had S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, not familiar with your game tier, and hell tier. The not familiar with your game, Braylon, is for the coaches that won 2 titles in like the 50s. Like Phil Wolpert, who coached San Francisco, the Dons when Bill Russell was there.
What was that guy, Wes McCraven?
And
No.
Branch McCracken.
There you go.
Branch McCracken, former Indiana head coach, pre-Bob Knight. So we had guys like that, and it was a lot of fun. It's like an hour and 20 minutes long. We do a deep dive on almost every coach. So make sure to check that out. That's on the Score 1260 YouTube channel. I'll be sending out a tweet with that link after the show. Anyway, that'll do it. Another fun-filled hour here on Outside the Box Score. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you to Braylon Noble. Thank you to Josh Boheim. We'll be back, same time, same channel, 11 a.m. next Saturday right here on the Score 1260. Peace.